Hi, I'm Andrew Pitman from Plant and Food Research in New Zealand. I've been here to give a talk on seed tuber inoculum of Libirobacter and its impacts on quality and yield of potatoes. As part of our study, we've conducted a field trial over a 2-year period, and I presented work last year on the first year of the trial, and this year I've presented the second year of the trial and the data that we obtained, and a comparison with the first year. As part of my talk, what I presented was work on the impact of the tuber inoculum, as well as on the impact of TPP with and without Libirobacter. So effectively what we observed was that Libirobacter as tuber inoculum has a major impact on emergence, but not the kind of impact on emergence that you've seen in the US. We observe we still retain 80% emergence rates, even though we have Libirobacter in our mother tubers. But what you find is that growth of those plants is reduced, and we see a lot of stunting. Regardless of the stunting, however, we also see a good yield from those Libirobacter positive tubers. About 80 to 90% of Libirobacter positive tubers, mother tubers, produce plants that then produce daughter tubers at the end of the season. When we test the marketable yield of those tubers, however, what we see is a 30 to 40% reduction in yield with the present, if they're grown from Libirobacter positive mother tubers. Then when we assess those tubers, those marketable tubers, what we also observed was we wanted to look at specific gravities and also zebra chip symptoms. So what we observed in the first year was that when you had Libirobacter as inoculum in the mother tubers, you had no major impact on specific gravities or zebra chip symptoms in the harvested tubers the following year. We also found that when we applied Libirobacter negative TPP, there was no impact on specific gravity or zebra chip as well. In the second year, however, what we observed that again, that Libirobacter positive mother tubers did not impact on the specific gravity of daughter tubers or on the zebra chip observed. However, when we applied TPP that were positive for Libirobacter, we saw a major influence on both specific gravities and on zebra chip incidence. Now, what do we glean from that? We glean effectively that Libirobacter in mother tubers does influence the growth of potatoes in the subsequent year and does reduce yield. However, that yield that you obtain does not show zebra chip symptoms. In contrast, when we look at the effect from psyllids on the yield and the quality of the tubers, we observe that Libirobacter negative psyllids do not really have a major impact on specific gravities or on zebra chip, but that Libirobacter positive psyllids do, and therefore there's a question mark over psyllid yellows and the impact of psyllids without Libirobacter on potato production. What we're hoping to do over the next year is try to confirm our data in some shade house trials and subsequent field trials. And what we're trying to do there is look at psyllid yellows in particular and see whether Libirobacter positive and Libirobacter negative TPP can cause psyllid yellows.